What's going on, everybody? Wildcard weekend is in the books. We started with 14 teams. Now we're down to only 8 teams. 4 in the NFC and 4 in the AFC. And I think it's safe to say that the NFL wildcard round has been pretty wild. The NFL has put the wild in wildcard weekend. And I think it's safe to say that is true. So, to close out wildcard weekend, let's look back at the 10 best wildcard games in NFL history. Starting at number 10 in our countdown, we have the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Chicago Bears back in 2018. This is the double doink. Chicago Bears kicker Cody Parkey missed a field goal that ended the Bears season, and I'm sure looking back on that now, he really wants that back. He wants the double doink back. He wants to make that field goal and, hopefully take the Bears to a Super Bowl. Unfortunately, that did not happen. At number 9, we go to 1981, known as the Epic in Miami. This is where the LA Chargers were taking on the Miami Dolphins. This matchup back in 1981 was a legendary game with a record-setting performance. The Los Angeles Chargers won against the Miami Dolphins. And if you remember that game, I believe some Charger players had to be carried off the field after the game. It was a long game, but it was a fun and entertaining game, nevertheless. And I know all these playoff games were pretty good too. At number 9, we're going to go to 2019. Not that far off. 5-6 years ago. You have the Minnesota Vikings taking on the New Orleans Saints. In overtime, Kirk Cousins had an OT touchdown pass that advanced the Minnesota Vikings to the Divisional Round and eliminated the New Orleans Saints. And if you remember that game, I believe there was a big rule change with pass interference or something like that. It was a big discussion over a huge rule change that eventually got passed. And a lot of people were excited. I think it was a review change. We'll have to look back on that later. But it had a significant role in the NFL as we see it today. At number 7 in our top 10 wildcard games in NFL history, we're going back to 2013 with the Indianapolis Colts taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. And because it's Kansas City Chiefs in 2013, there is no Pat Mahomes, there's no Andy Reid, I don't think. But what we do have, or who we have, is Colts quarterback Andrew Luck. He led the Colts to a 28-point comeback, stunning the Kansas City Chiefs that had the final score of 45-44. Pretty good. Number 6, you might know this one. It was back in 1998. It was the catch between the San Francisco 49ers and the Green Bay Packers. Hall of Famer 49ers legend Steve Young. Deep pass to Terrell Owens for the game-winning touchdown with 3 seconds left. I believe that is the catch, too. The second installment of the catch is our number 6 play or game of NFL Wildcard Weekend. If you're enjoying this countdown, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for more football content like this, inside stories, and much more. And also leave your thoughts on your favorite NFL wildcard game in NFL history. Continuing our top 10, number 5, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers back in 2017. The Ben Roethlisberger era. Blake Bortles, the Jaguars quarterback, shocked the Steelers in an offensive showcase. The Jaguars won the game 45-42. At number 4, we're going back to 2009 with the Arizona Cardinals. I believe this is Kurt Warner's Arizona Cardinals going up against Aaron Rodgers led, or is it Brett Favre? I believe it's Aaron Rodgers led Green Bay Packers. This game, like a lot of these games in the top 10, was a high-scoring game. It ended in overtime with Carlos Dansby's fumble return for a touchdown. At number 3, we're singing a different tune as it's the Music City Miracle Tennessee Titans going up against the Buffalo Bills in 1990. Kevin Dyson's 75-yard touchdown from a lateral pass resulted in Tennessee's winning the game against the Buffalo Bills, which I never saw the game live, but it seemed like a heck of a play. Next, we have number 2 in our countdown. Seattle Seahawks and the New Orleans Saints. This is known as the Beastquake. In the game, Marshawn Lynch had a 67-yard run for a touchdown that sealed Seattle's upset against the Saints. And number 1 in our top 10 NFL wildcard games in NFL history, it is the comeback. Buffalo Bills going up against the Houston Oilers back in 1993. Quarterback Frank Reich led the Bills to a 32-point comeback where Buffalo won the game 41-38 in overtime. That was a huge accomplishment for Buffalo in their franchise history. Hopefully, they make it to another Super Bowl and eventually win the Super Bowl.